Welcome to another TechHelp video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to start programming in Microsoft Access VBA. That's Visual Basic for Applications. If you've never done any programming before, don't worry. I'll show you how to get started and walk you through it step by step. VBA is easy once you learn how. We will learn how to work with the VBA Editor, create a message box, learn how to open a form with the DoCmd.OpenForm command, and set a value in a form field. Today's question comes from Patricia in Ann Arbor, Michigan, one of my Platinum members. Patricia says, I've seen in several of your TechHelp videos where you mention you can do this with a couple lines of code. I've been using Access for a few years, but I've never done any VBA programming before. Can you tell me where do I put this code and how do I get started? Yes, of course, Patricia. I'd be happy to give you and everyone else who's never done any VBA programming before the quick basics of how to get started. Now, before we get started, I want you to go watch my blank database template video. In that video, I show you how I like to set up my initial Access database with all my preferences and settings. I'll also show you how to set up a basic customer table and customer form and a main menu. So go watch that first and come on back. I'll put a link down in the link section below. Now, if you want to, go to my website and download my Intro to VBA template. All right, you'll find a link down below in the link section. It's right there. It's a special copy of the blank database that I put together just for this lesson. All right, it's got just what you need for today's class. If you don't want to download it or you can't download it, that's not a problem. You can work with a blank database. That's okay. But if you can, go download this template from my website. It's a free template. Okay, so here I am inside the Intro to VBA template. It's real simple. It's got a main menu, it's got a customer table, and a customer form. Okay, and I use the command button wizard to create this button right here that just opens up the customer form. And if you watched my blank template video, then you know how I created that. Now, most of the time, when you use VBA code inside of Access, your code is usually going to run in a button or some other kind of event. Buttons, by far, are the most popular. You click a button, and something happens. Now, when you use the command button wizard, the wizard usually creates a macro for you. Let's take a look at it. Right-click on the form, go to Design View. Now, right-click on the button, and go to Build Event. This opens up the embedded macro that's in that button. Okay, it says Open Form. Customer F is the form name. View and Form View. Window view is normal. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. And there's nothing wrong with macros. Macros are okay, but macros are very limited. VBA is much, much more powerful, and you can actually do this with just one line of code, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. The problem with VBA is everyone gets intimidated when they hear about programming and coding and all this stuff. Don't worry about it. It's super simple to learn how to program in Access VBA. All right, so let's close this macro. I'm going to shut down this action catalog, close that. All right, let's create our own button in here to do the same thing. But this time, we're going to do it in VBA code. I think even the name coding sometimes makes it sound like it's secretive. It's not. It's super easy. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so we're going to start this button just like we start any other command button. Go to Form Design, find the button right there. All right, they used to be called command buttons. Now they're just buttons. Drop it on your form. Now, the command button wizard starts out, but we don't want to use the wizard. We're going to write our own code for this button. So hit Cancel. Cancel that wizard. Okay, I'm going to resize it so it's about the same size as that guy. Let's see, about the same height, about the same width. Okay, let's change the caption. So let's call this My Button. Okay, and it's a little bit shorter than the other one. Okay, there we go. My Button. Now, in addition to changing the caption, what's on the button's face, I like to change the name of the button too. Give it a good name. So double-click on that button. That'll bring up the property sheet. Go to the All tab, and the name of it right now is Command 12 or some other number. That's not a very good name, and we're going to see that name in our coding, in our VBA window. So we're going to change that to My First BTN. I like to end my button names in BTN. This is my first button. Okay? I'm going to resize that a little bit. That's a little big. Okay. Now, how do we get to the code? How do we get to the coding behind that button? There's a couple ways to do it. The easiest way, right-click on the button and go to Build Event, just like we did with the other one. Now, you'll get this Choose Builder window. There's Macro Builder. We don't want to build a macro. We don't need the Expression Builder. That's something totally different. Code Builder is what we're going to pick to get into the VBA Editor. All right, so pick Code Builder and then hit OK. Okay, now this window pops up. It's the Microsoft Visual Basic for Applications window. This is where your coding happens. Okay, so where you write all your programming. Now there's a bunch of stuff on here that we don't need that I find makes things confusing for beginner users. So at the bottom here, the section that says Immediate. If you see that, close that. Just like these other two panes over here. We don't need this Project pane or the Properties pane. Turn all that stuff off. Now look at it. See how easy it is? It looks nice and simple now. All right, don't worry about all these crazy buttons across the top. In fact, you might have a different set of buttons than I do. Don't worry about all that. We don't need any of that right now. Now, don't worry about my copyright notice. I put that across the top of all my databases. That won't be in your databases that you create. Don't worry about these next two lines. Access puts them in every database. Ignore them for now. You don't need to worry about what they are. This is all we care about right here. Okay, it says private sub, my first button click, and then end sub. Sub stands for subroutine. All right, and everything that happens before the sub and the end sub will go when you click that button. That's how Access knows what to do when you click on my first button. Hence, it's my first button click. So come in here, put your cursor right between those two lines, hit enter a couple times, put some blank lines in there. All right, now, the traditional first program that every new programmer writes is something to make the computer say hello world. I've been doing that since I was 8 years old, programming on my Tandy Radio Shack TRS-80 computer. Okay, back in like second grade. So, we're going to hit tab because it's always good form to tab in. Then we're going to use the MsgBox command, MsgBox. That is a command that pops a message up on the screen. All right, hit space. Now you'll see this little guy pop up. That's to help you know what the parameters are for MsgBox. All right, parameters are bits of information that you send to MsgBox to tell it what to do. The first thing and the only thing that you need to worry about right now is the prompt. What do you want MsgBox to say? I want it to say, inside of quotes, hello world, exclamation point, close quotes. All the rest of those parameters, see how they're inside of square brackets? That means they're optional. You don't need to worry about them. All right, then press enter. And that's it. You're done. You just wrote your first program in VBA. All right, we're going to save this, Control S, or you can click on the little floppy icon if you want to. All right, come back over to your Access window. Now I'm going to close the form, reopen it again, main menu, and here's my button. Ready? Click, and boom, there you go. Hello world. Congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause. And that's a MsgBox. Okay, and MsgBoxes are handy. I use them all the time for displaying messages for the user. You know, error. You typed in a credit limit that's too high. That kind of stuff. You use MsgBoxes constantly. So that's the most popular thing that most people want to learn how to do. Okay, so now that we know how to create our own command button, let's make another one, but let's mimic this guy. This guy uses a macro, though. Let's do the same thing. Open up the customer form, but we're going to use VBA code. So let's right-click. Design view. All right, I'm going to slide this one up just a bit. And let's create another button. Drop it down here. Cancel the wizard. All right, make it about the same size as the other ones. Like that. And if you're not sure if it's high enough, just bring it next to it like that. That's close enough. Okay. Let's change the caption to customers 2. All right, because that's customers 1, that's customers 2. And let's give it a name. Let's make this open customer button like that. I think the other one is just customer button. Yeah, I named that one in the other video. This one will be open customer button. Okay, right-click, build event, code builder, hit OK. All right, now we're inside private sub, open customer button clicks. That's why naming that button is important. Otherwise, it'll be private sub, command 14, click, and you won't have any idea what button it is. Okay, now don't worry about the word private. Private just means only this form can use this subroutine. You can make stuff public as well, which means other forms can use it. But private is the default. Don't worry about that right now. We'll talk about that in a much later class. Okay, now what do I want to do in here? Well, put a couple of blank lines in there. Tab in. I want to open up another form. And the command for that is DoCmd, D-O-C-M-D, DoCmd.OpenForm. So you get a little list there. IntelliSense it's called, to tell you what all the different commands are. There's open query, open function, open report, all kinds of different stuff. Space, there's your parameters. The only one you need is the form name. Inside of quotes, customer F. And that's it. And I like to get rid of these blank spaces in here. Control Y will get rid of those blank spaces. It just keeps your code looking nice and clean and compact. And as far as these commands go, you just got to learn what they are. It's like anything. You just have to learn. It's like Excel. You got to learn the functions, right? Access, you got to learn how to use the different commands and stuff, all right? It's just that simple. You just got to remember what they are. Make it cheat sheet at first if you want to. MsgBox, OpenForm, there's a couple other popular ones you'll use from time to time. All right, but that's it. That's all you need. One line of code to open a form. Save it, Control S, come back over here. I'm going to close my form, open it back up again, and ready? Click. Does the same thing. See? Now, this is a situation where it doesn't really matter if you use a macro or VBA code, but as you can see, the VBA code is one line. It's really easy to do. And in the long run, like I said, as you learn VBA, you'll find it's much, much more powerful than programming in macros. All right, we're going to make one more button, and the next most popular thing that people always want to see is how do you click a button to change some value on the form. For example, let's say family size here. Okay, I want to put a button right next to it. I can click on that button, and every time I click on it, it increments the family size by 1. So I click on the button, it goes to 3. Click on the button again, it goes to 4. Simple example, I know, but this is how I teach you how to program. Really nice, simple, easy examples. And then we slowly get more complicated as we go along. So let's make a button right here. Let's go to Design View. All right, but before we make that button, first, a word from our sponsors, and that's me. I got to sneak in a little advertisement once in a while, folks. Sorry about that. If you want to learn a lot more about programming in Visual Basic, take my Access Developer Level 1 class. It's over an hour long. I cover all the basics. I go into a lot more detail, too. I've just kind of glanced over the surface of it right now. All right, we'll talk about all these things. Statement, procedures, parameters, multiple command arguments, set warnings, if, then, else statements, all kinds of different stuff. And this is just in level 1. As of right now, I've got about 30-some levels of developer. So you can go as deep as you want. We'll learn how to open queries. We'll learn how to set values. We'll make this little button here so you could type in the billing address, click the same as billing, and it'll fill in the shipping address automatically for you. All kinds of cool stuff just in level 1. And then after that, I've got lots and lots of lessons available. So if you really want to learn how to become an Access developer and learn how to program, you're in the right place. Okay? Check out my website. Okay, advertisements over. Let's go back to work. Let's make this form a little bit bigger. Let's put a button right down here next to family size. I'm going to grab the button, drop it right there, cancel the wizard. Right? I'll put in the caption, maybe +1, like that. You could do +1, -1 if you want to. In fact, that'd be good homework for you. Do the same thing, but go -1. All right, so there's a +1 in the button. What are we going to name this button? Let's call this Add Family Size Button, like that. Add Family Size BTN. Okay, right-click, come up to Build Event. It's way up there. Code Builder. This Choose Builder window is a little annoying. I'll show you how to turn it off in just a minute. All right, Code Builder. Hit OK. There's my VBA window. Now, where's my other code? The other stuff that I just wrote. Well, don't panic. We're on the customer form now. The other code is in the main menu form. So you didn't lose anything. It's still in there. Okay. Now, what do we want to do? I want to add 1 to the value that's in the family size field. Let's make sure of the name of the field here. Family size right there. That's the name of the field and the control source, but the name is what we're interested in. Okay, this box right here, this text box, is named family size. All right, so go back to your editor window. I always leave the code editor open, by the way. I just minimize it or hide it. All right, so come right in here, enter, tab in, type in family size equals family size plus 1, and then press enter. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Take whatever the value of family size is right now, add 1 to it, and then put that in family size. So if it's currently 2, right, it's going to get set equal to 3, then 4, then 5 every time you click on that button. All right, save it. Control S, come back over here. I'm going to close this, open it back up again, and then click my button. Boom, there's a 3. See that? Click it again. Boom, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's a pretty big family, huh? Okay. And that's it. That's it. That's easy. See how easy this is? It's not hard stuff, folks. Programming in VBA is super simple stuff. Now, the one thing I want to show you is that code editor thing, that choose builder window. That's kind of annoying every time you go and you want to create. Because I always use VBA now. Once I learn VBA, I almost never make macros. Like 99.999% of the time. So that little window is just one more step that I don't need. How do you change it? Well, go to File, come down to Options, go to Object Designers, scroll down a little bit underneath the Form Report Design View section, and check this box that says Always Use Event Procedures. Now you won't be bothered for that macro builder, expression builder thing. All right, hit OK. Yeah, it says you got to close and reopen the database, but chances are you don't. All right, now if I go to create another button, right-click Design View, grab a button, drop it down here, cancel the wizard. If I right-click and go to Build Event, the VBA window pops right up, and I didn't get bothered to choose a builder. And now I'm in Command 15 click. See, that's why you want to make sure your buttons have a good name. I'm going to delete that private sub because I don't need it. Okay. And then I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to delete that button that I really don't want. And I'm going to shut this down, open up the main menu, and I'm all good. Now I know how to MsgBox, I know how to open up a form, and I know how to set a value in a form field using VBA. And see, you learned all that in less than 20 minutes. I told you this stuff's easy. It's not that hard. All right? If you want to learn more Intro to VBA, I put together an extended cut for the members. It's 15 minutes long, and it goes over more beginner-level programming stuff. For example, we'll put a list box on the main menu with our customers in it. I'll show you how to then make a button to open whatever customer the user picks. Right? Here's my list box. Pick Open Customer, and there's that customer. Right? Pick a different one. Open Customer. There they are. Then I will teach you event programming. Right? How to do things when a certain event happens. For example, the on double-click event. What happens if instead of clicking that button, I want to double-click on the customer list? Right? Instead of clicking that button, it's easier just to double-click on James Kirk. There it is. That's a double-click event. And then finally, we'll learn about the if-then-else statement. For example, if the user doesn't pick a customer and that list is null, we want to intercept that, right, and give them an error message with a message box. Pick a customer first. So that's all covered in the extended cut for members, 15 minutes long. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos, and gold members can download these databases. How do you become a member? Click the Join button below the video. After you click the Join button, you'll see a list of all the different types of membership levels that are available. Silver members and up will get access to all of the extended cut TechHelp videos, live video and chat sessions, and more. Gold members get access to a download folder containing all the sample databases that I build in my TechHelp videos, plus my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus access to my full beginner courses and some of my expert courses. These are the full-length courses found on my website, and not just for Access. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, ASP, and lots more. But don't worry, these free TechHelp videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and feel free to post any comments that you have. I do read them all. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Click on the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of building databases with Access. It's over 3 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. And it's also free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my TechHelp page and you can send me your question there. Click here to watch my free Access Beginner Level 1 course, more of my TechHelp videos, or to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video from AccessLearningZone.com.